Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome to 81 Degrees Kelvin. My name is Kelvin West, and I make content for Black people. The Awakening. So today I wanted to connect with you guys a little bit about woke culture, right? And what it means to be woke, and what it means to just what that means in regards to Black excellence and white violence. It's been some very interesting times that we've gone through recently here in America, where we've been awoken to a lot of things. We have received an awakening that has just like set us forward in absolute evolution, right? What does it mean to be woke? What does that mean? Right? What does it mean to be awake? When people talk about woke culture, what does that actually mean? Right? So I woke up this morning. To what I'm just going to say, more white violence. I woke up to more white violence, and I'm going to share that with you in just a little bit, and kind of go over that and just show you my opinions on that. Okay. Like I said, I make content for Black people, but there's many people can use this content, and so do with it what you will. These are my thoughts, my opinions, my expressions. This is my form of art, if you will. Okay. I woke up today with a message from the muralist that, if you guys have been following along, there's a mural that was terribly done about in regards to George Floyd. Or Derek Chauvin, who murdered an innocent Black man. And so I woke up to a message today from the muralist. Again, another message from the muralist about her experience and what she's going through in regards to being woke, if you will, right? What does it mean to be woke? Hey, Google, what does woke mean?
According to Wikipedia, woke is a term that refers to awareness of issues that concern social justice and racial justice. It is sometimes used in the African American vernacular English expression "stay woke."
Okay. So let's talk about that, right? So to be woke is to be aware of racial injustice. That's what Google just said. Okay. So let's talk about that. Right? And I want to start it off by talking about Donald Trump. And I know that's going to be, kind of hard to hear for a lot of people, but Donald Trump was one of the first angry white men, as far as I'm concerned, to own his whiteness, own that white violence. He owned it, which woke a lot of people up. It woke up a lot of people. Right? Because here we are, we're sitting here in America, and, Donald Trump was doing things that made a lot of people mad, including white people. It made a lot of white people mad. But what it truly did is it showed us that this is the underbelly of America. We are a racist country, right? We're built on it. And that just makes sense, right? So Donald Trump woke us up to the realization that, this is bigger, right? Now, people of color, we've all known this because we've lived this. We live this every single day. People of color have lived the injustices, have lived the white silence. We have lived the white violence. We've lived in two Americas our entire lives. 30 some odd years did I pander to white feelings. Did I bow down to white violence? 30 some odd years I did that in my life. Made white people feel comfortable. America.
Time is 3:30 p.m.
Thank you, Google. I have washed my hands. Just took a shower. Anyway, George Floyd was another awakening, right? Not an awakening for people of color, but another awakening for white people. White people realized, and this all started with Trump. It did. White liberals, you guys had to wake up. You guys had to wake up and realize, like, oh shit, this problem is me. This is me. This is me. Right? This is me. The rabbit hole gets deeper. The rabbit hole gets absolutely deeper. So let's continue to talk about it. Today, I woke up to this message. And this is from the Muralist. Okay? This is from the Muralist again, who reaches out to me and has a lot to say to me via DM, and her energy has changed, right? So I'm gonna read you the latest message that I received today, right? So I woke up to this, and as far as I'm concerned, I woke up again to white violence, and that's just my personal opinion. In my humble opinion, that's what I feel. Okay, so hello, King West. Funny how the New Times quoted your followers' attacks as white woke hero when we know it is a woke white hero. I believe she's talking about herself, right? But in either case, it is wrong because you and they have no idea what my background is. I did what you wanted, and now I ask you to correct your followers. Let's talk about that. Okay. First and foremost, let's not forget that you were also quoted in that article. In fact, you've been quoted in every article. Okay. So you've sat down with these people and you have shared your side of a story that just is. You shared your side, right? They got your words. They got my words. We both have been quoted in that. Never once have I used the word woke. In fact, it was the white reporter who used those words. The white female reporter who said that you're a woke white hero, apparently, is what you're saying, right? Those words never came out of my mouth. What does this mean, right? To continue, followers, I need to correct my followers. First of all, if I have followers, thank you. I didn't realize I had followers. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got followers on my main YouTube channel, but this is, I don't have followers in regards to this. Not that I know of. What you are waking up to, Backpack, is you're waking up to a bed that you made that you don't have the courage to sleep in. Bottom line, you stepped into something that you can't get yourself out of, and now you woke to the realization that the times have changed, and they've been changed. And I've said this before. I've said this before in regards to this whole thing, is that, like, there's a lot of white people who are upset, who are very, very upset, and I think the reason why they're upset is because they truly don't. It's changed, guys. The culture has changed. The topic has changed. The narrative has changed. This is no longer about your experience. It's about your actions. You said yourself, you're right. I don't know anything about you. But let's talk about what I've learned about you from this, right? What I've learned about you is, and again, everything I've learned about you is from your own actions. So we have to take ownership, which I'm going to get to that in a second. What I've learned about you is that you have that you make art using traumas, struggles of people of color, to create awareness of the injustices that happen to people of color. Trust me, we know. So I learned that about you. You make art. You build your platform on the backs of people of color. You said so in the text. I saw it in my neighborhood, right? You don't, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the mural that I witnessed, you don't include the voices of the people that you're painting, of the stories you're telling. You don't include them in the makings of your murals. As far as I'm concerned, this is what I've learned about you. And nor do you understand the impact, right? I've learned that you don't take accountability well, right? You don't take ownership. In your first post to me, you said you will take down the mural only if I come acknowledge you as a human being. I don't owe you that. I don't owe you that at all. And quite frankly, show me where I said to you, Backpack, take down the mural. Show me that post, right? You did what I asked you to do. When did I ask you to take down the mural? The mural was defaced, hon. Okay? The mural was defaced, and there was fentanyl written on it, and I believe a couple N-words. Or I don't know the exact. I didn't really pay attention to it. But you created an opportunity for black people to continue to be traumatized. You did, without the consideration of black people. These are all choices that you made, right? Actions of you. Like, these are your actions that you did. These are all examples of white violence, right? That you've done. And so I voiced an opinion about it when it was defaced, saying that this mural had no consideration of black people, no involvement of black people. It should be taken down. That's one man's opinion. That's my opinion. From that, you chose to take the mural down. And then when reporters hit you up about it, you chose to say, I've got to do what white people are afraid to do, and that is to give up the platform. Honey, but you haven't. And you want me to tell my supporters to back off of you? You painted a mural that you had no business doing. You're getting heat from it, and you want me to come save you? That's white violence. It's white violence. You've yet to make a post about, I as a white woman had no business using the traumas of people of color to build my platform. Say that. Take ownership there. I think you might have a different time, right? Because what you're waking up to is a realization that this isn't about you, right? What you're doing is inappropriate. What you did was inappropriate. How you're handling it, as far as I'm concerned, is also inappropriate. So, what does it mean to be woke in black culture? The first time I ever woke up was when I realized that these police brutality beatings weren't going to stop. And I'll never forget it. Like, it was a very dark time for me because everybody knows that I'm the banana man in downtown Phoenix. I was this, happy-go-lucky guy, and I really love being that person. I really honestly did. Like, it's fun to make people feel good. That is a superpower that I have. Like, that's what I love to do. It's when I'm at my best. Is when I'm making people feel good, right? But I would see these images of black men being murdered by white cops. And again, I talked about this yesterday in yesterday's post. Was I can feel that. I can literally feel those bullets when I see those family members crying. I literally see my sister crying. I see my sister Brandy crying. I see my mother Lola weeping. Right? Like, I can feel those things, and all black people can feel those things. We can feel those things. It's not just us witnessing these murders. It's us feeling, reliving, It hurts. And then there's no justice, which is just salt on an open wound. You watch these white men, these angry white men go home to their families. It's not okay. It's not okay, right? It just isn't okay. And so where does that leave us, right? It leaves us in a constant state of rage. I'll take one, sure. It leaves us in a constant state of rage. And it's not a healthy place to be for us, right? So when I'm noticing that stuff, I had to realize that, oh shit, Kelvin, you're black. Because then what happened is I started my own company and I started working in the bars here in Phoenix, right? In the gay bars here in Phoenix. Los Diablos was one of them. Cobalt. I didn't work in Cobalt, but I've dealt with Cobalt people. You know what I mean? And I worked in these gay bars, and I realized that, like, man, these people don't respect black people in these bars, and I had to tell these people that. I raised my pricing up, right? Because I know what I was bringing to the table. You know, I ran a dope ass karaoke show. I deserved to be paid what I requested. And then I was bargained down. I had to wake up and realize, like, oh shit, no, Kelvin, you're black. You're black. And for black people, it's called your nigga wake up moment. And I hate saying that word, but I'm going to say it today because it's important. It's called your nigga wake up moment. Every black person has it. It's when you wake up and you realize, oh my God, this is about me. Like, these black men are being murdered because of the color of their skin. That's a real moment that black people have to wake up and realize, right? Because we have to, we're all brought up to think that criminals are the ones who have interactions with the cops. But then through social media, and thank God for social media, thank God for Facebook, thank God for Twitter, thank God for TikTok, thank God for these social platforms that are bringing it right into your home. You have to see it. And if you are a human being with a legit any kind of education and just a clear head on your shoulders, at some point you realize that this is all racially motivated. Because then you see white people getting away literally with murder when they deal with cops, cursing them out, spitting on them, having weapons, drawing weapons on cops, white cops. And they're taken away in handcuffs, taken to Burger King, right? We see this stuff. We're not stupid. You then wake up as a black person. You wake up, and I'm telling you, when you wake up as a black person, realizing that you are black in a country that's not safe for black people, it's a day that I wish I could take back, right? It is. I used to be oblivious to it. I'll never forget, I had a friend who, we used to make black jokes all the time. And I was good at making black jokes. And he's a white guy. And I was good at making black jokes, right? And I'm not going to say his name because I love him. And I think he's a great person. We went through some growing pains. We did. After it was brought to my attention, after I had to wait, it was brought to my attention by a black woman that, Kelvin, that's inappropriate. What you're doing is disgusting. I had to wake up. Shit. I can't be leaning into these black jokes. I can't be feeding into this ridiculousness. I can't do it because I am black. I'm ruining it for the people who are going to come after me. My nephew. I'm ruining it for Psalms. I'm ruining it for Xavier. I'm ruining it for Lamar, Kalyani. I'm ruining it for my family, right? If I lean into this stuff, I'm ruining it. So I had to realize, fuck, Kelvin, you're black. That was a hard time. It was a very, very hard time to wake up, because then you can't unsee it. And that's really kind of the overall message with all this stuff, is that, like, then you can't unsee it. Once you wake up, you cannot unsee it. And it is constant rage. I then move into a neighborhood, right? I realize I'm black, and I move into a neighborhood that's supposed to be all about culture. all about coming together. We love, we love. Okay, well, let me just kind of let me be, right? Let me blossom. Del Calvin, you can't play in any of the reindeer games. In fact, we don't want to hear your voice, right? At all. We're going to silence your voice by gaslighting, by ignoring, and by making you the issue. It's you. It's you. It's you. Right? I'd make a post. Hey man, this is racist. Like this doesn't feel good. Like don't do that. Immediately. And this happens every time. Every time there's any type of racial, any time a black person or a person of color calls out any type of injustice in this neighborhood, the next thing to come up is a white person saying how much they love this neighborhood. What I love about this neighborhood is this. And if we could all just get along. That's interesting. That's interesting, right? So then I had to wake up again and realize that not even my own community, not even my own neighborhood is a safe space. That's another awakening that you have to go through, right? It doesn't feel good. It does not feel good to be awake. But it's necessary. It's necessary. And so to these white allies who are sponsored by Corona, to these white allies who are, to backpack, who's telling me, I did what you wanted. Now I ask you to correct your followers. You haven't done what I wanted. You haven't done what I wanted at all. In fact, what I wanted you to do is to own your white violence. Own it. Make a post about that. Post that, right? Own it. You haven't. And you won't. Why? Because you're not fully awake yet, right? I know the article said woke white hero. Because white saviorism is an absolute reality. That is white violence. It is. And many of y'all are waking up to that. It's uncomfortable. It does not feel good. It does not feel good, right? It doesn't. Welcome to the stream, Bradley. Hey, Marge. How you guys doing? There's another message that I want to reiterate to you, right? So again, this artist has reached out to me on several occasions, and again, her energy has changed, right? And now she's the victim, right? Now she's the victim. Why are your supporters coming after me? I don't have any supporters coming after you. If I do, that's not my business. It's not my. I could care less. I'm sorry. I'm not a bad person for that. Again, I sleep fine. This is also one of your messages. I've done a lot of conversation with wiser people because now I've not responded to you. So now you're upset, right? I've done a lot of conversation with wiser people, and you don't have to come say hello. I know I don't have to come say hello. I told you that, right? I realized that it was making me feel comfortable, and maybe you aren't. Right. That's what I said. I will paint over the mural either tomorrow morning or Friday morning, and I would like to ask the Oak Street guy if he would just give it to you to call any artist you want to make your own statement if you'd like to use it. Thank you for educating me. I hope I can pass it on to other white people what it means to give up the platform. Honey, you're not saving anybody. Sweetie. This is problematic. This is what it is. This is the issue, right? This is white violence. It's white violence. Like the fact that you think that I owe you anything when I was not included, considered, or even cared about in the making of your atrocious mural. Sounds like she's still. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, absolutely, Luis. And many of them do. And that's the reality. That's the reality, right? Like many of them do. And because y'all aren't awake yet, I just walked through my entire experience of waking up and realizing that I'm a black man in America and realizing that I'm not in safe spaces. Not only did I realize that I was not in a safe space in America, I then had to realize that I'm not in a safe space in my own damn neighborhood where we own property. We own property in this bitch. We're not even renting. Not to say that should dictate anything, because it shouldn't, but the reality is that, baby, I'm not going anywhere. My voice is going to be heard, whether you listen or not. That's uncomfortable. But y'all got to wake up and realize that it's a brand new day. People of color are exhausted. And not only are we exhausted, we are fed up. And not only are we fed up, but we are sick and tired. And not only are we sick and tired, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired. And baby, it's a new day. It's a new day. Wake up. Wake up. I've been woke, right? Been woke. The fact that Derek Chauvin was found guilty, again, was to silence black people, because black people are waking up. We're waking up, and we're realizing that the people that are that are out there screaming the loudest, y'all this is for y'all, right? Like this is for you guys. This isn't for us. This isn't for us, because we don't need this. We don't need white women painting murals of tragedies of black men who suffer from white violence. We don't. You got to wake up to that, right? You got to wake up and realize that you are the problem. Because you know what we are waking up and realizing? We are waking up and realizing that we are the solution to our own problems. We're not the solution to your problems, right? Your problems are deeper. Black excellence comes from buying black. Black excellence comes from loving black, right? I'm not saying, and when I say loving black, please understand, and black people, we need to wake up to this and wake up and realize, and I actually have a very good friend that I'm going to be doing a co-show with coming up here soon about black love, right? What that actually means. And it starts with allowing yourself to be loved, right? We got to wake up and realize that, and knowing that love doesn't know race. Love knows no race, right? Love is real. It's always been real. We have to allow ourselves to be loved. That's a whole nother awakening, right? There was something I wanted to share with you guys today, which TikTok is king. All hail TikTok. I love TikTok because TikTok keeps you grounded. It does. TikTok keeps you like on some real stuff, right? So I saw a video today that I wanted to share. And it's amazing, right? Let me see if I can find it. I've liked so many videos, but it resonated with exactly what is going on. I think it's this one here. Boom.
Southern whites were allowed to completely rewrite the narrative around this.
Okay, so I want to play this video. I think this is the video that I wanted to play, but I'm just going to play it anyway because she makes this again. This is what we got to wake up to. We got to wake up, right? And hopefully this matches my message. We'll see. We're going to do it live.
Southern whites were allowed to completely rewrite the narrative around the Civil War and even cast themselves as heroes in hindsight because they were never really held accountable for their acts of sedition against their own country. Because Presidents Lincoln and Johnson pardoned the majority of Confederate officers and soldiers to keep peace in the Union, they got to go back to their homes and begin the process of rehabilitating their images for the generations that would follow. This left the door wide open for a thought movement in the American South that came to be known as the Lost Cause. The Lost Cause propaganda campaign centered around three things: portraying Southerners as heroic patriots that were fighting for a just cause and who were simply outnumbered outnumbered, promoting the narrative that enslaved people were treated well and that they loved their masters and were essentially happy to serve, and that slavery was not the root cause of the Civil War. This narrative ended up in films like Birth of a Nation and in one of my favorite films, Gone with the Wind, and in textbooks all over the South. And it also led to the erecting of a ton of monuments in former Confederate states that honored veterans of the Confederacy. In part 3, I'm going to tell you about the Southern Women's Group, who's responsible for keeping this whole narrative going.
Okay, so narratives, right? So one of the things that we got to wake up to is the narrative of these narratives, right? What what women like backpack, right? People like backpack don't realize is that it's this white saviorism stuff, right? Like white people came in and we did all these things to and the way we tell the story is how it went down. Again, this is a form of censorship. Yesterday we talked about censorship and how the first people to ever be censored here in America are the people that were here, the indigenous people, right? The first people that were ever censored were the indigenous people. The second people that were ever censored by white people, by white violence, were the black people, right? They were brought over, made to be slaves. Their voices weren't heard, right? And then I believe that history is art, and the way we storytell, we tell these stories is art. Censorship happens in how we tell the story, right? Not how we, but how white violence has told the story. And white violence always tells the story as them being a hero. Backpack said herself, I had to do what white people aren't willing to do, which is hand over the platform. Is that not what you guys just heard? That's what I heard. Right? That's what I heard. This is symptomatic. Like, this is a part of white culture, is that these putting yourself in a position of power, right? You decided what the mural was going to about. You decided where the mural was going to go. You decided that it was going to be about black trauma. You decided not to include any black voices, right? So this is the platform that you're talking about, right? Let's get to it. Let's get to it, right? Let's wake up. Let's wake up, guys. Let's wake up. This was the platform you're talking about, right? Because in your next post, you said you're going to hand over the wall to me. So you created a platform, right? That you've already had. I mean, come on, let's just get real about it, right? White voices are going to be heard first. They are. And so here we have a white woman who wants to paint this mural of black trauma and create this platform of like, this is the story that I'm going to tell, is that the price of black lives is $20. I'm going to tell this story, right? So that's your whole MO, right? And then when you get called out on it, you then want to hand over the platform as if you did something, as if you are the savior, as if this is about you. It's about you. And it's not about your actions, right? It's not about your white violence. It's about your white saving. Like, it's about you being the hero. I had to do what other white people refused to do. No, you did exactly what white people refuse to do. Take ownership. You're doing exactly that. You are. You're not handing over a platform to me. I've got my own platform, honey. Like I'm sorry to put it to you like that. But the fact that you're using these words, again, because see, people think that people remember me as this happy-go-lucky black guy that made them feel good. And guess what? I'm still that person. Now you just pay me to do it, right? Now you pay me to do it. Which is a better experience for everybody because, I'm good at what I do, right? But as far as like being your token, you got to wake up. It's time to wake up, Mr. West, right? Time to make. There's a line in Kanye West's one of his songs that says, "Time to wake up, Mr. West," and I freaking love it. I love it because it's time to wake up. Like that's not a thing. I'm not your token. I'm not your token black guy that's gonna come to your rescue. I need to correct my followers. I've seen the Twitters. I've seen the Twitter comments. You're getting your ass beat. But you made that bed. You walked into that kitchen and it was too hot, right? That's not on me. So miss me. Like, miss me with the dumb stuff, I don't owe you my time. So the awakening. White people are waking up to a new world today, right? Y'all are. You guys are. And many of you guys who are waking up, you're realizing like, damn, dude, the road ahead is a difficult one. And it is. It is a difficult one that is going to take, it's going to take daily, religious practice. Because it's not about changing, it's not about ending racism. It's about changing behaviors. And we got to wake up to that. You've got to wake up to that. Where you spend your dollar is what matters. Not a hashtag. Not silent, not getting a white person fired, right? Not getting a racist fired, not silencing racists. That's a bad thing to do. And we got to wake up to that. We got to wake up to the realization that we keep silencing racists. All we're doing, Marge says, that's why I hate the word woke, because it's never done. It's always wake. Absolutely. 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 It's always waking, right? We have to continue to go down this rabbit hole of self reflection and self-understanding. Okay? We do. And white people, y'all got to do it just right along with us. And many of you guys are. But back to what I was saying is that it's in the daily. It's in the everyday. Every single day. Where are you spending your money? If you really want to do something about racism, that's what I was going to say, is that silencing racists this is what we really need to wake up to, is that silencing racists, this whole idea of cancel culture, which I'm going to do a whole nother show on cancel culture, because cancel culture that's a bad move. It's a bad move. I'm not going to get too much into it right now, but now you guys know how I feel about it, right? It's a bad move. Why? Here's what we got to wake up to. When you silence a racist, when you get a racist fired from their job, and listen, there are people out there whose specific goal is to get racists fired, okay? Here's what happens. They then go undercover. They then go, then we lose sight of them, right? So before they were out here saying, I don't like black people. I don't like gays. I don't like this, right? But we can see where they're at. We can see their actions. We can see their movements. When you fire them, not only have you angered them, right? You've given them more purpose to be racist. Gotta wake up, guys. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up, right? If we truly gonna be woke, understand what woke. Understand the dangers of that term woke. It is a dangerous term because you will never be woke. You need to keep looking within, right? You need to keep waking up, much like myself. I woke up to realize that, damn, dude, you're black in America. Woke up to realize that, damn, America's not safe for black people. Woke up to realize, damn, you're not in a safe space in your own neighborhood. Woke up to realize, like, damn, these motherfuckers really just don't care about you. I continue to wake up every single day. You're waking up, right? Every single day you wake up, who are you going to be, right? What decisions are you going to make? What choices are you going to make? Who are you going to be, right? So when you silence a racist, get them fired, you now push them underground with other racists who are more volatile than the one you got fired, because the ones who are hiding, right? Oh boy, it's coming up on that 40-minute mark, right? The ones who are hiding oftentimes they vote the same way you do, right? Ooh. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all better wake up. You better wake up. A lot of times, the most racist people vote the same way you do. You better wake up, right? But when you silence a racist and you put them on the ground, you only anger them, and now they're with other racists who truly hate black people, and you've given them fuel to do something even bigger and worse. When what you could be doing is saying, listen, your view is your view. I respect it. Where I'm going to make change is I'm not going to bank with you. I'm not going to spend my dollar there. And don't be vocal about it. Don't be vocal about it, because all we're doing is adding fuel to the fire. When you come out and say, this person needs this job, I'm not going to do business with this person anymore because they are racist, and then that person loses their job, now you've just added another hardcore racist to the fire. I know that's hard to understand in here, and I know that's not going to resonate with a lot of people, but it does. That's just the reality of it all. We got to wake the hell up. You got to wake the hell up. Let them be racist. Who cares? You're never going to end racism, ever. Ever. And quite frankly, I know when I'm in a racist situation. Trust that. I know that. And I respond accordingly. Because guess what? People of color, we've been dealing with this all our lives. We know exactly what it feels like. We know exactly what it looks like. We know exactly what it smells like. So the caucasity of white people to say, well, that's not racist. Honey, I'm 30. I'll be 40. You don't think that I know what racism is by the age of 40? Young kids are code switching. Young kids, people of color, children of color, are code switching at the age of 6 years old. Trust, we know what racism is and what it feels like, and we know the energy behind it. I know when I walk into a room full of white people and I'm loved, and I know when I walk into a room full of white people and I'm not. I know it. Wake up, right? It's going to take daily, processed, intentional, bold choices. And if you cannot make those bold choices, be honest with yourself. You know what? I can't do it. I don't have time to look up a black business. I don't have time to look up a Mexican business. I don't have time. I want the convenience of that Amazon package coming to my door. If that's truly who you are, own that. Own that. And just continue to try. Continue to try. I'll end on this. When you're woke, if that's your whole bag, you're part of the problem. You are. But if you continue to awake every single day and choose to do things differently and to change the narrative, right? Then you're waking up. And there's a difference between being woke and waking up. And I promise you, the best place to be is waking up. Because the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. All right, guys, that is my time. My name is Calvin West. Make sure you guys subscribe to the show. I'm going to be producing this video, and it'll be up on my channel, and I'll post it again. If you guys want to share it, by all means, do so. I'm going to start. That's all I got to say. Stay woke. Stay waking. Okay. Life's good. Love is real. That's what I always say and always will. Take care, guys.
It sound right, boys.